And coming back home and shifting focus to the political developments here now, there's some breaking news coming in. Amidst reports of his resignation, Maharashtra's Revenue Minister Eknath Khadse has reached Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis' residence to meet him. Remember, Khadse has been in the dock for that India Today expose that showed that his number was on the calling list of underworld don gangster Daud Ibrahim. Also, he has been at the eye of that controversy because of the land deal. Vidya is joining us on the phone line from Mumbai. Vidya, take us through what is happening at the moment at Mr. Fadnavis' offices.
The meeting is certainly underway. Khadse has been, underground. In fact, he was not meeting people for the last few days, and he had been though tweeting, and his tweets had been showing the resilience as to how he had actually helped BJP stand up and make a party in the state that it stands now as. But in fact, there had been a clamor for his resignation that had been increasing. We know that people like Anjali Damania this is a third day of fast against asking for Khadse's resignation. While there have been more and more, almost every day we get to hear of some or the other wrongdoing of Khadse being exposed allegedly, and that's one of the reasons why the entire pressure has been mounting, and that is one of the reasons why he has now finally reached the residence of the Chief Minister. And we have to also realize that both Amit Shah, the BJP president, as well as the Prime Minister knows of the entire scam that has been brewing. In fact, there have been reports that Amit Shah has been asking the BJP president here in Maharashtra to prepare a report and give him an entire lowdown on exactly what is happening. And that's one of the reasons why the entire pressure on Khadse had been mounting.
Okay, Vidya, do stay with us. I'm also joined by my colleague Sahil Joshi. Sahil, does this look like Khadse is still in a position, because over the last few days he has been trying to plead with, of course, Devendra Fadnavis. He's been trying to plead his case with the state leadership and the central leadership. Is he still trying to do that, or is this game over for Khadse now?
Smita, we are getting a breaking news that it's kind of a game over for Eknath Khadse. It's likely that he has been asked to resign, and that is the reason why he has silently come to Mumbai yesterday night. He was keeping his location secret, and finally he just arrived from his official residence. Our team was there. They could see that in the morning he got out of his official residence in Mumbai, and he has now reached Chief Minister's residence. It is likely that he will be offering his resignation as been asked by the party. Yesterday, Nitin Gadkari was given a responsibility to tell him that he will have to follow the party line rather than being defined in this particular case. As far as land deal is concerned, the party is convinced that there is a conflict of interest and it may hamper party's image in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Not only in Mumbai and Maharashtra, but it will hamper party's image across India as well, because we just saw that the Prime Minister was clearly saying that the success of the BJP government was that they could give the clean government in last 2 years, and there was no single allegation of corruption.
Right.
But because of what happened in Maharashtra, they feared that the image will get hampered. That was the report given by the Chief Minister to Amit Shah and Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister. What we heard from the closest sources of Devendra Fadnavis, we got to know that Prime Minister was very keen that Eknath Khadse should resign, and finally it looks like that his line has prevailed. We'll have to wait for some time to get a formal confirmation from the Chief Minister or from the Eknath Khadse's office regarding his resignation. We haven't yet heard about that, but now it is likely that Eknath Khadse may resign. Now, Smita, yesterday he released one video statement of his, which India Today ran yesterday. That in that statement he tried to convince people that he's actually working on a proposal which he needs to submit to the cabinet, which will be happening next week, and that is why he's hiding. He's working on that. He's working for farmers. That's why he's not coming forward at this point of time, and he tried to deny all the allegations against him. But
right. Sahil Joshi, do stay with us for the benefit of the viewers joining us at this point in time this Saturday morning at around 20 minutes past 11. That's the piece of breaking news that our colleagues are getting for you. What we are learning is sources suggesting to India Today, it looks like this is going to be end game for Eknath Khadse, the Revenue Minister of Maharashtra, who has been in the dock for that India Today expose of the calls being made from Dawood Ibrahim to his phone, as well as for that land scam. Remember, over the last few days, Khadse has been making attempts to plead his case with the state leadership, the central leadership, and the BJP too. The party too has actually been sending in emissaries to impress upon him to accept the wrongdoing in the land deal in which he's facing allegations of impropriety. These are fresh visuals, India Today exclusive visuals of Eknath Khadse's convoy today, as Eknath Khadse reached Devendra Fadnavis, the Maharashtra Chief Minister's office, and the meeting is on at the moment. Managing Editor Rahul Kawal joining us on the phone line. Rahul, clearly an India Today impact story this with the kind of exposes that we have had on Eknath Khadse. It looks like the game is up for him now.
This is the first minister and senior BJP leader appointed ever since Narendra Modi took charge of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who has now been asked to resign. This hasn't happened in any other investigative story so far. We're still just waiting for a final confirmation, but from what we've gathered from our sources in Mumbai is that the party last night made very clear to Eknath Khadse that he has absolutely no option. He has to resign. He did try initially to find a face saver. He suggested maybe I can give up my revenue department portfolio, cling on to agriculture. So that's the original option that Eknath Khadse and people speaking on his behalf try to present before the Delhi top brass. But I think Devendra Fadnavis made very clear in the presentation that he made to Prime Minister Narendra Modi following the India Today series of investigative stories, which essentially said there is no option, we have to bite the bullet, Khadse needs to go. Devendra Fadnavis was very clear about that. The Prime Minister also was upset because one of his primary planks, Smita, has been that there hasn't been a single charge of corruption in 2 years of Modi being in office. That was one of the main things he's been saying constantly at all the 2-year celebration functions. Now suddenly in the midst of all of that, you have Eknath Khadse, against whom India Today has been able to lay out very compelling, clinching documentary evidence, and then that whole plank goes for a toss. The Aam Aadmi Party wanted to scale this up in Mumbai. The Congress this afternoon was planning a big march against Devendra Fadnavis, against Eknath Khadse, against Narendra Modi. The BJP and the Sangh both realized that there really was no option and that he had to resign. And therefore, even though we haven't, I must say this, Eknath Khadse is furious with us. He's refusing to speak to me or any of our correspondents in Delhi or Mumbai, and we haven't heard from Eknath Khadse himself. But there are enough indications from the highest sources in the Bharatiya Janata Party, from the Chief Minister's office, from people who handle Maharashtra from the BJP, that they have told Eknath Khadse last night that you have to resign. He seems reconciled to the idea. This could be the meeting when he comes out and announces that he has stepped in. He stepped down.
Okay.
He's also now trying to ensure that there is some kind of a face-saving formula, Smita, because it shouldn't be assumed that because he's resigned, it's an admission of guilt. So what Eknath Khadse will essentially do, or what the BJP will try and do, is try and take whatever's left of the moral high ground by saying that Eknath Khadse has stepped down because he wants that there be a fair probe. He believes he's done nothing wrong. He believes that there is no reason for him to fear the law, and he'll ask for a fair probe. That's the formula that's been worked out. So BJP leaders, you'll see over the afternoon, come out and say, yes, Khadse has resigned, but it isn't as if he's guilty. He's resigned so there can be a fair probe.
Okay, but that will be, of course, that sort of a clarification or sort of a defense will be along expected lines. If Vidya is still there with us, Vidya, could you take us through what is... Well, looks like we've lost that link to Vidya. And is Sahil Joshi still with us? Sahil, can you hear us? It looks like we have lost that link with Sahil as well. But Rahul, you know, Eknath Khadse comes from Jalgaon district in North Maharashtra. Does he carry a certain degree of clout within the state unit? Is that something that the BJP needs to take care of if in case he's shown the door?
Smita, that's been one of the biggest reasons why Khadse hasn't resigned so far. He is at present by far the tallest leader from North Maharashtra, definitely for the BJP, possibly for all of Maharashtra politics. He originally had the backing of about 15 MLAs. That then came down to between 4 and 6. By last night, it was down to 1 or 2. And even those MLAs were clearly told that they had to toe the BJP line, that there could be no rebellion. Remember, initially, after our investigative expose, Eknath Khadse started flexing his muscles. There were people close to him who started speaking about splitting the BJP, how they'd walk away. That was, of course, just bluster, positioning, posturing by Eknath Khadse, trying to pressurize the High Command into not acting against him. He comes from the backward caste. Now, ever since Gopinath Munde passed away, he has been the strongest leader from the backward caste. At a time when Devendra Fadnavis, a Nagpur Brahmin, was installed as chief minister, who is junior to Khadse, this was also a big issue, that you can't suddenly make a junior who's also a Brahmin the chief minister at a time when the Marathas would get angry about it. So this has been a problem. And that's why Amit Shah was a little concerned about what action to take. But just the evidence laid out by India today was so compelling that ultimately they realized that they had no option but to let him go.
Okay, Rahul, do stay on with us. We have to slip into a quick break. That's our compulsion. But those India Today exclusive pictures are streaming onto your television sets of Eknath Khadse. That meeting is underway at the moment. Eknath Khadse has reached Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis's residence, and the two are meeting at the moment. Is this the end of the game for Eknath Khadse? We continue to track this story and follow all developments in a short while from now. To stay with us.